Why does this lamp look like a microphone? Can I get 2 cheeseburgers, please? Vegan? Just move that over. That's weird. Also, welcome to my office. So, just as a side note, these picture frames, what's in them is stock photos, okay? So, I need to change out whatever you see back here because that's what came in the frame. It's not actually what's gonna be in the frame. I just feel like sitting here talking to you guys about, you know, deep levels of consciousness, and there's like eyelashes behind me. It might be a little confusing, okay? So I am going to change those out, just so you guys know, but we're in process. So I feel like it's been a while since I've done a video on anxiety and just different tips and tricks, and this one I felt like I had to share, and also like it felt deeply on my heart that somebody needs to hear this. So here I am. Let's talk about what ifs. I feel like the anxious mind, as I know so very well, exists in the realm of what ifs, which is often future driven. It's often what if of a future tense. Now, the problem with vibrating in a future tense is that it does not exist. The future does not exist, much like the past does not exist. It's merely memories. And the future is merely a projection of those same memories of the things we've been through. We've collected data and then we've projected it onto our future and assumed, okay, something bad's gonna happen. Now, when I say that none of those things, the past or the present, is not real, I know it can it makes our brains feel like they're exploding. It's like, wait, I'm sorry, what? But the truth is, all we have is this present moment. It's the only thing that's real because it's the only thing we are really experiencing. It's the only thing we can touch. It's the only thing we can see is this very moment. Everything else is either a memory or a projection. So when we start to grasp the idea that the projection and the memory are both not physically present, we can start to understand that these what ifs can't possibly be real. See, oftentimes with anxiety, once we hit a what if, we create a story around the what if. It's not just the what if that gets our body into that anxious feeling, it's the story we create around it. What if this person says this to me tomorrow, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this will happen, and we go, and we go, and we go, and we end up in a loop of creating a reality that we haven't even experienced yet. Nor can we know if it's going to happen. Now, when we start to create the stories around the what ifs, we are creating an experience in our body, and our bodies have no way to decipher whether we're actually going through something or if it's just being projected in our minds. Our body reacts the same regardless. So if we're projecting in our mind a what if and then creating a story, a circumstance, a whole narrative around it, our body feels like it's actually happening. That anxiety is so real. That circumstance is so real in our bodies, we feel like we're actually going through it. So once we start to understand how our bodies kind of react to the obsessive thoughts that we're thinking and creating, we can then start to play my favorite game, and that is the opposite game. Once you become aware of when you're having these what if thoughts and you start to get yourself on this loop of what if this happens and then this happens and then this happens, and we're just going down the hole, we're spiraling, we take a second. Take a second and hold that what if. What if tomorrow I get a flat tire? Let's say. We hold that what if. We take a second, we look at it. Okay. And then we intentionally think a what if that is the exact opposite of that negative what if. So if it's what if I get a flat tire tomorrow, I'll think to myself, okay, take a second, that was a negative what if. It's causing my body to have a visceral reaction. What if tomorrow's drive is absolutely flawless? Because we've already broken down that your projection of a what if can't possibly be reality. It's merely, based on the things you've been through. So it's just as plausible that something wonderful will happen as it will something terrible will happen. Now, in that moment, when we have that awareness that we've just had a negative what if and our body's freaking out, and we change it to, okay, what if tomorrow is absolutely fabulous? What if my drive goes really smoothly and my car runs great? In that moment, you might feel an immediate release. And it might be so tiny that you don't even recognize that it happened, but I promise you your internal vibrations have just changed. Whether you feel it or not, that's okay. It's okay if your body doesn't immediately release. I'm not sitting here saying that this is going to rid you of anxiety. No, it's just what do we do with the what ifs when they come up? What if I try this and I'm terrible at it? Consciously become aware. Think the opposite. What if I do this and I am absolutely magnificent at it? And then keep it pushing. Next time a what if comes up and it's a negative, we then transfer it into the positive. We think a what if that is of the positive nature to change our vibrations. And over time, we rewire our neural pathways to more positive outcomes. You'll notice that you slowly, you'll have positive what ifs amongst the many fearful what ifs, but you start to notice the change that's happening. You start to notice that we are rewiring the programming towards fear. And yes, it is a slow process. And yes, it takes so much conscious awareness, recognition, and then intentionally putting your vibration somewhere continuously for that to change. But we have the power to change our what ifs. Okay? And if we allow our what ifs to compound, that's when we exist continuously in that anxious space. We have to step out of those thoughts for a second, recognize that that is not real, and it is just as plausible that something negative happens as something positive. So what is the positive opposite to what we have just thought? I just want to make it clear that, this process takes a really long time and it's not an instant fix. Sometimes you don't feel any change in your body whatsoever when you change over your what if to something positive happening. But at the same time, you don't necessarily in that moment need to feel it to know that your energy has just been changed. And as we continuously do this, I promise you, you will feel a difference if you consciously put your awareness to changing those what ifs every time they come up. And it's a lot of work, especially for my anxious tribe. I feel you, I hear you, and I see you, okay? My what ifs are about 1,000 a minute. Do you know how much time it takes me doing the opposite to every one of those what ifs? It takes a lot of time. But what I can tell you is that when we gradually start to implement this idea, we slowly start to see a result of leaning towards, what if this terrible thing happens? Yeah, but it could also not. And our body have less of that visceral reaction of anxiety, the gripping, terrifying feeling. Yeah, it was a lot. But I'm just so passionate about, rewiring our neural pathways and the programming that's happening in our mind consistently, because I know it's possible from myself, my own experience, and working with so many beautiful, beautiful souls in my coaching programs. If you are stuck in a very anxious state, there is hope for you and there is peace for you. You are not alone, okay? You are not alone. That obsessive thinking, those what ifs, that anxious gripping feeling, look, don't for a second think you are alone. And no, we do not get to choose whether we have those what ifs or not. We don't get to choose which thoughts we have. No, they will come up regardless. But we have the choice of what attention we bring to after the thought comes up. Okay, am I going to stay here and vibrate in the space of, oh my gosh, what if tomorrow I get a flat tire? Or am I going to make the conscious decision to switch that what if? And what if tomorrow my drive is absolutely perfect and my car runs smoothly? It's a choice we get to make. That's the choice we get to make. Not what our thoughts are, but how we go about dealing with them. I get sweaty. Does this make sense? I get sweaty when I think about these things because it's on my heart, so heavy. So I'm hoping that this touches one person today of just being like, hey, look, I'm going to try this. Whether I feel it immediately or not, I'm just going to try the opposite game. Let's do this. What ifs? Bring it on. Let me know if you guys already do this or if you're going to implement this or, what you do with your what ifs. And also don't forget, down below is the link to my spiritual coaching. And I do free discovery calls if you're not sure if spiritual coaching is for you. I got you. We got this together. I love you guys very much and I will see you in my next video. Maybe with different photos back here. So that's all for now, folks. Clean up on aisle 3. Okay, love you guys. Bye.